Like, this buff isn't bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, what? The
Reversal.
reversal.
What's up, guys? Just want to make a video talking about my experience today at Smash Summit 10, basically day 1, which was my pool, Group D. Group D included myself, Nun, Captain Face Roll, Pew Pew, and Sunsei. So, pretty good variety of characters. Each of the players played someone different, which meant that to warm up and to get into it, into a good vibe, I had to, like, warm up properly, and I had to get good scrimming. And so basically the night before the tournament, I actually ended up playing with Mewtwo King for about an hour, and then during the day today I played with West Balls for an hour. One of the reasons I like working with West Balls a lot is because he's like a multi-character specialist, has an extremely solid Falco obviously, but then in this case has a very good Fox, a very good Falcon, and then a decent okay Marth and Sheik. But when you're warming up for certain players, sometimes you don't need to have like an absolute tip-top player. You just need to have a player who's sort of aware of neutral, aware of how it works, and sort of just able to like pinpoint where you're going to be, get good reads, so on and so forth. It's mainly to get your muscle memory like back on track. So to start out with, the day started, I actually separated my stream setup. So right now what you're seeing is usually my traditional ultimate stream setup. I have the nice camera right here. I have the mic down here. I'm in my office, which a lot of you guys probably recognize at this point. But the big issue was that whenever I was playing in other online Melee tournaments, I would be sitting right here, and I felt like I couldn't do like my full level of focus. I felt like there was still Juan the streamer versus Juan the competitor was still, there was still some kind of like, I couldn't separate the two, right? And so I decided to experiment a little bit this week because Smash Summit 10 has such high stakes. Took my Alienware laptop, set it up downstairs with kind of my lower end webcam, and made that like my B stream. So at the typical Smash Summit events, what they allow the players to do is have their stream running all day so they can talk to their audience and sort of, you know, continue their living, because a lot of the players there are full-time streamers, myself included. And in doing so, I created an environment that mentally reminded me of that sort of atmosphere, in which when I am downstairs, I am only warming up, I am talking to my audience, we're chilling, hanging out. But the moment I get up here, I close the door, I turn on this computer right here, and I turn on my Dolphin. I only have Dolphin and Discord open on this setup, and from doing that, it really allows me to hone in, and man, did it pay off dividends today. So today's pool kind of went like this. My first match was against PPU. First game was kind of back and forth. It was me kind of finding my footing again in the online world, but I was able to get the same rhythm that I usually do, and it reminded me a lot of what it was like playing against him in LAN, in a CRT. I added a polling fix to my controller to make it seem more consistent with my inputs, and because of that, sort of doing those really tiny movements around Marth's big sword, you know, it definitely helped me out a good bit. Game 1 was pretty dominant. Game 2, PPU took me to Yoshi's, and he was actually winning for a long time there. And it came down to like this last stock situation, and I knew right then and there that last stock, I think I went for like an edge guard attempt. If I missed that edge guard and he won that game 2, the entire rest of my bracket would have been very, very marred, because I had this issue, especially in the era of online Melee, where I take one just barely bad play where I got outplayed, and the second's even, and then game 3 is shaky, and that shakiness kind of goes with the rest of the bracket. But in this case, I was able to get the edge guard, it popped off right there, and game 3 was very, very dominant. And I was very excited to get a 3-0 to open up my tournament, because I mean, the whole week or 2 weeks leading up to it, I was in a virtual slump in Melee. I was losing to a lot of players I've never lost to. I wasn't really feeling the game the way I should, but I was also dealing with a lot of personal issues, and I was able to, thank God, work through those and, you know, get the proper, you know, do the proper things I had to do to make myself feel better. And I found myself mentally in a place ready to compete again at the level that I used to, regardless of whether or not it's LAN or whether it's on Slippi. So that 3-0 on PPU, really exciting for me. I was kind of back to form, actually better than form, because last time I played PPU was Genesis and it was a 3-1. So in a sense, I was doing even better, which was very, very exciting to me. Following that, I had to play Captain Face Roll. Very, very good Sheik player. We've actually had times where we've had very, very close games. Face Roll, of course, I think he had an amazing run at the Slippi Champions League. So intimidation-wise, going into it, it was kind of scary. Our game 1 on Battlefield was very, very close. I was sort of on the fence to decide whether I should go Battlefield or another stage like maybe like FD or something. But I realized that big, long stages like FD and Pokemon Stadium against Captain Face Roll, they don't... I feel like I don't like giving Sheik that much room. I do a lot better when I'm sort of in their face, even though they can grab me, get their combos, and it kind of paid off. Game 1 was very, very back and forth, and then I ended up getting a really good rest combo, which got me the lead, and then finally another edge guard combo with properly timed rolls on the ledges to get the Game 1 on Captain Face Roll. And then Game 2 on Yoshi's Story was just a complete, utter domination. I believe there was an SD, but, you know, it sort of goes to show that when I have that player in a sort of cramped environment, I can really combo them and I can really maneuver the game the way I really want to. And once I went up 2-0 in the set, I realized this is going to be another 3-0. He put up a way better fight on game 3, if I recall correctly. But for the most part, it was just me rinsing and repeating the same mix-ups and the same approaches, especially doing tomahawk grabs where, you know, he's shielding in place and I jump right in front of him without attacking him, get a grab, do a forward throw, and opt for these good edge guard situations. And against Sheik, what you want to do, get her off the stage, hit her once, then grab the ledge, wait for the poof timing. The poof can also be extended because it has like 2 hitboxes. But if you do it properly, not only can Sheik fall to her death, you can roll on the stage with her, even punish her with a forward smash or a rest or the grab setup. And you sort of keep doing that until the percent adds up and it gets to the point. So I ended up also 3-0ing Captain Face Roll. So at that point, I was feeling very, very good. I was already exceeding my own expectations. I think my goal definitely was like to not get last place in the pool, given how paltry my performance was online recently. And so already the fact that I was up 6-0 in games and 2-0 in sets meant that at the very minimum, I was in the bracket on Sunday, which was a big relief because my coach, Captain Crunch, flew in only tonight after my pool to coach me for tomorrow's bracket, which is the much more important one. So at that point, I was feeling really, really, really good. What I did not expect at all was that my third match against Sunsei, which is one of the best Fox players now in Canada, I guess one of the best players in Canada, would be as close as it was. I mean, this guy was playing such an incredible defensive game versus Puff like I've never seen. Laser game, patience, discipline. It was very IBDW-esque, a little bit of hints of Armada there, a little bit of hints of the speed that Plup would come at you when rush down. It was a mix of a lot of the Fox players, and so I had to mix a lot of styles to counteract him. He took game 1 on Battlefield. We went to Dreamland. I got a pretty good 2-stock lead, and then I just kind of bled him out like I do on Dreamland, usually a safe pick there. He goes to FD game 3, and I get the first stock, and then he SDs, and the game completely falls apart for him. But even at the end of the game, I could still see signs of life, and I knew if I wasn't careful, it would be pushed to a game 5. And lo and behold, he goes back to FD. I'm playing the very, very patient game. And at one point, it goes down to last stock. I think it's at 60-30%. And I get either the grab or an up tilt or some opening of a read where I could have gone for a rest. I hesitate, I miss it, and then he comes back down and gets the up throw up air. And so I find myself in a game 5 situation versus a very, very good Fox player, which is a place you never really want to be. And I go to Fountain of Dreams for game 5, and that is always a big gamble because I didn't go back to Battlefield. Usually, I could have gone back to Battlefield because I lost there, but there was just something about I didn't want to go out to the stage I already lost on. I needed something fresh, something new, and I liked the fact that FOD had a slightly higher ceiling. Maybe I was playing a little better there. Maybe the fact that I was improving and, I was able to beat Mewtwo King's Fox in that stage a few times and West Balls' Fox that same day on that stage gave me a little bit of confidence. We go to FOD. The platforms aren't in my favor. I believe he takes the first stock, but I answer back with another stock. He's kind of up the entire game until I finally equal it out, 2 stock apiece. I think I'm at 60, he's at 0, and the left platform, or I guess in this case, the left platform pops up just a little bit, and I think he mistimes an aerial. I grab him, up throw him, boom, I get the rest, and now all of a sudden, it's a 2-stock to a 1-stock lead. I try to hold off on that lead for as long as I possibly can with 2 stocks to 1. He eventually finds a kill, I think, with a lazy late in there, and next thing I know, it's a last stock situation. I had the momentum. It's game 5 last stock, so it's 2 characters just dancing. We're playing footsies. I have most of the momentum. I think I get a roll in read where I could have rested him. I hesitate. He comes back down. I think I take 40, then I take 50. Then he up tilts me. Next thing I know, I'm at 60, and he gets and he's like at 100, but we're both basically at kill percent. That's the scariest spot you want to be. He gets a grab off my whiff back air. He up throws me, and that's when I think this is all over. I'm going to lose to him. I'm going to go down in the set, and I got to play nuts. It's going to be bad. But I hit the SDI, and it probably was because I added that polling fix. I hit the SDI. We do a little more footsies. I get a soft forward air into a forward air, get the edge guard to win a riveting, and I mean fucking riveting 5-game series versus Sunsei. And that guy is the future of Canadian Melee. Holy shit. He's so good. What's funny is that he and I did the Rising Stars program together at EGLX, where he was like the highest placing, I guess, amateur player. And now he's pushing me to the absolute rope. So it's something that you should really love to see. So once I beat him, I was guaranteed winners. I was in a really good mindset. Went downstairs, warmed up a little bit against West Balls' Captain Falcon. And the last match of the day was to play against his Canadian brethren, None. None had beaten me 3-2 last time we had played, I believe, in Slippi Champions League. And so I wanted to make sure it didn't happen again. But the first game, what we did on Battlefield, None just completely destroyed me. His style is so unorthodox because it's such confident aggression that you're expecting, like, with None, you're expecting like a mistake, a whiff, but every move he does is so accurate and it just hits you. And then like, you're almost, you get intimidated by his accuracy. You get intimidated by his unpredictability. So game 1, I got destroyed. Game 2, I go to FOD. Same thing's happening. I'm getting destroyed. I barely hold together to keep a lead. And then next thing I know, it's last stock each. And I hit the craziest 0 to death with a clutch up air rest on the top platform. And the momentum of the entire set shifted for me. We go into game 3, Pokemon Stadium. I open up with a jab, reset, rest. It's going back and forth. And I think at the end of game 3, I have 2 stocks. He has 1 stock. He goes for a grab down throw, and I hit the rest out of the knee, which is not only an optimal situation to do that because you're dead, it is a mental, like a mentally destroying tool. Because we go out to game 4, he opens up with an amazing game 4 combo again, similar to game 1. But at that point, I knew how to adapt. I knew to buckle down. I knew to wait for the openings as they came. My calling game got a lot stronger, and I ended up winning the game with an edge guard on the left side of the stage. And next thing I know, I went 4-0 in my pool with a 12-3 game count. And I got first seed in my pool, exceeding all the expectations. I wasn't even seeded first in my pool. And to me, being able to play at that level still, even after everything that has happened, was emotional for me because I didn't think I had it in me, but really I put in the work this week and we're in winner's side tomorrow. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. And I think the downstairs, upstairs mental trick that I gave to myself, where I allowed myself to be a streamer in one part of the house and a competitor in the other part of the house, it tricked me into thinking I was at a tournament, which, you know, when you're in a pandemic, sometimes you need to trick yourself that you're in a competition in order to compete the way you want to. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. That was my review and sort of summary of what happened today. And I'm really hoping tomorrow with my bracket, I think it's IBAW into Zane. It's a hard bracket, but I always say if you're going to win a tournament, you need to beat everyone. You can't just hope and pray for an easy bracket. You got to beat everyone in the room if you're going to be the best. And I think that's the way I want to do it. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. And don't forget, hashtag free melee, speak your mind. It's a very important issue. And the fact that this whole tournament is happening around the birthday of Melee just makes it that much more fitting. So I'll see you guys then. And if we got to win, that would just be a miracle. It'd be a dream. Thanks, guys.